Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Gio. Thank you guys for being here. You guys, recently I changed the name of my channel from Manifestation Experiment to just my name, Gio Alejandro. My tag is now Creating Gio because I'm creating the reality that I want. And I think that with a name like Manifestation Experiment, it could come off as I'm trying to be like an expert in manifestation and all that, which in my belief, I don't think anybody can really be an expert for anybody else. They might be an expert for themselves, which is great, right? They manifested great things in their life, just like I have. But I just think that like it could come off as maybe pretentious or whatever. Like if I'm trying to be a guru or anything, I'm not trying to be any of that. I'm just myself. So I just want to share a lot of my insights, a lot of the knowledge that I've had over the years, things that have worked for me, things that haven't worked for me. I want to just document the ups and downs, and I feel like that's more of a genuine place, right? Like a lot of the people that I follow on here and that I've subscribed to, they come from a genuine place and they share their ups and downs as well. So some of you guys know some of my story, but also some of you guys don't really know that I started manifesting since I was a kid. I just didn't see it that way at that moment. I see it now, right? When I think back to it, I'm like, whoa, I've been manifesting since I was a kid, especially when it comes to my music. And I'll give you an example. Whenever I was really young, I was growing up in Mexico. I was originally born in Houston, but I lived in Mexico for the first few years of my life. And down there, I grew up with my sister and my cousins, and they were all girls. And I was the only boy, and we had to kind of get creative with the way that we interacted and played and all that stuff. So they wanted to do a lot of dressing up and all that stuff, and I wanted to play music. And none of my family was musicians, by the way. I would just grab pots and pans and like a broom and just pretend I'm playing. I always had that in me. So I feel like part of manifestation has to do with belief and imagination and just that drive and that feeling and that thought that you want to create. And I didn't see it then, obviously, right? Because I was a kid. But I realized that as I gotten older, that I attracted certain experiences, certain people in my life that basically mirrored what I wanted to become. It was basically an identity shift because, like I said, nobody in my family played music. My parents come from, going to school, getting a job. They never really saw music or any art as like a form of work. So I really had to overcome a lot of those limiting beliefs. But I remember asking my parents for an instrument, and they were like, "Oh, it's too expensive and all that." Which at that moment I didn't really understand it because I was like, "What is money?" and all this stuff. But now as an adult, I'm like, "Okay, that makes sense, right?" And it wasn't malicious or anything; they just couldn't afford it. But when I got into like middle school, I met a friend that he had a dad that played in a band. He actually would let us jam on his instruments all the time. I would go over there pretty much every day, and so I was hooked, right? So it was years before I actually touched like an actual instrument until I met him. But I was already feeling that. I was playing pots and pans, like I said, right, with my cousins. They would pretend to model, and I would be the musician. And we had a little show. We'd invite the neighbors and stuff. So I was always kind of visioning myself as a musician. And once my parents saw that I was jamming with my friend and we were playing little shows and all that, they're like, "Okay, cool. Like you're into it. Like we'll get you a guitar." And they got me a guitar for Christmas. We went to a flea market and it was like the cheap guitar or whatever. But I was so happy, right? I learned on my own. I taught myself. And same thing with drums, bass, whatever it was. So I really realized later on that I became a musician because that's what I felt within. That's who I saw myself as. I identity shifted into that. And so I had just never done any other manifestation as it pertains to like my finances or my relationships or anything like that. I never really applied those certain that the I guess the principles of manifestation into those things, and I am now. And that's why I named my channel Manifestation Experiment, because right now I'm experimenting and all that. I want to be a full-time musician, and I want to be successful, have a successful business, be an entrepreneur, be able to be wealthy and all that stuff, right? I want to be a YouTuber as well. So I'm identity shifting myself that was just that struggling musician growing up with those limiting beliefs that my parents instilled in me. And now I'm just like, I want to be limitless, right? And I'm so inspired by a lot of YouTubers out there that have grown their channels and that are doing this full time, and they also have other businesses. So I see myself doing the same. And that's why I feel like I can do this. And I want to come on here and tell anybody that they can do whatever they want to, whatever they feel. But you have to feel it and think it and embody it 100%. Every day, you might not see it change, right? But you can do one little thing every day to get you there. And I feel like posting videos on YouTube, making music, playing shows, whatever it is on my end that I can do to get to that, I'm going to do it every day. So that's why I'm uploading this video, and I've been uploading videos since about June or July of last year. And I've seen some people that have grown their channel super quick because they're staying consistent. They're probably posting like every day. So I want to challenge myself, especially with this first video, to post every day. Tomorrow I'm going to post, and the next day I'm going to post, even if it's like a small video, right? 3 minutes, 2 minutes, whatever it is, I'm just going to post. And I'm a single dad, so I get busy. I, make money driving Uber Eats, and I'm also doing gigs and all kinds of stuff like that. So I stay busy, but I also can make the time for it. I feel like if you really want something, you have to make the time for it. I started taking up reading again, meditation again. I used to meditate a lot more back then. And as you guys, some of you know from watching my other videos, what I went through about a year and a half ago, I could have chose to been a victim and just kind of fall into depression and all that stuff, but I didn't. I was like, I know myself. I know who I am. I need to get back to that. So I've been doing the inner work, cleansing my soul, cleansing my body, all that stuff to be able to just like embody who I want to be. So I feel like you really have to empty your cup in order to be able to fill it with things that you want. And so yeah, this is why I'm on here. This is why I'm sharing my story, my ups and downs. I feel like it's really important to share your ups and downs so people can relate to it. I think that nobody can really relate to somebody who's already there and he's like, come on guys, why aren't you here yet? You see what I'm saying? Instead of showing the process of what it took to get there, people relate to that. It's like, man, I went through a similar thing. If he could do it, I could do it. I've seen some YouTubers on here too that I'm like, yo, if they could do it, I could do it too. And it inspires me. So that's why I'm uploading. I feel like the life that I have lived and I am living can inspire other people and add value to people's lives. So this is why I'm doing it. So I appreciate if you already subscribed. I appreciate if you are going to subscribe. And if you like the video, comment, and all that stuff, I really appreciate that. And I'll share the love back with you. I'm trying to build a community here. I've built a community with my music, Gio Chamba, with YouTube, with Instagram, TikTok, and so I want to do the same thing but just with my personal life, right? Like just I want to be friends with everybody. I want to be able to provide value and just inspire. So that's why I'm doing this video, and this is the first of the series of uploading every day because I'm growing my YouTube channel and I already see it. I already like I know that I can do it. This is what I want to do full time. So I appreciate you if you believe in that, because I believe in it, and even if you don't, that's cool. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I'm still going to believe it, and that's the energy that you have to have with your thing. So I'm not an expert in your situation, but I am an expert in my situation. So just remember that nobody can hold your hand through anything. You have to do it yourself. Just do the work, inner and outer work, and you'll get there. Just know that you'll get there. Just have faith. And some days are going to be harder than others. Believe me, some days I'm like, oh man, but then I listen to somebody on YouTube or a podcast or my friends or whatever. They hype me up. I'm like, yo, you're right. Let's go. So that's all it takes. Just little things every day to hype you up, to get your energy up. So keep your energy up, keep those vibes up, and we'll see you on the next video. Much love to everybody. Peace.